Well, you're probably very familiar with this story. You know, you were talking about persecuted people all across the world, including Soviet Russia. And we're talking about Russia now with the anti-evangelism law. So remember this name, John Aswarde, and he is a Baptist missionary from Illinois who was arrested recently in his home in Russia, a home that he's held many Bible studies in, because he was charged under what they're calling the Yarovea. You can am I close?
Yarovea.
Yarovea
you
law.
did good, yeah.
And this basically says that missionaries have to have permits, that house churches are illegal, and they limit activity to registered church buildings. I mean, he is now taking this to the Russian Supreme Court. And his first challenge, will be the first challenge that against legislation if he wins.
And it absolutely needs to happen. I mean, because these kinds of laws really, the problem is it ties the pastors, the missionaries up from actually doing their work. And I've been in places like Sri Lanka, India, same kinds of things. Instead of spending your time in discipleship and evangelism, you're going to the courts all the time. So we need to be really praying that. Because, you know, when things broke down in the Soviet Union, many evangelicals, Bibles and all that were coming in, and then there's now this pushback towards evangelism, and it can even make it to handing out New Testaments difficult. So, I mean, there's always going to be this spiritual battle. The Bible talks about that. Jesus warned us about that. But we also have to be praying that the gospel will still continue to get into these people in Russia that desperately need to hear the message of Christ.
And this gentleman is not giving up hope, so we definitely want to pray for him.